Hello and welcome back. So today we're going to do a similar thing to what we did with the centers, where we're going to look at defensemen with this 3D scatter plot, and this is going to give us a sense of tiers, targets, and a little bit more of strategy as we head into our fantasy draft. So to explain this a little bit for those of you who are here for the first time, ADP on the one axis there in the back, going from 0 to 180. Then you've got a 3-year completeness average on the left axis. Then on the right axis, you have 23-24 weighted rating. So this is going to give us a sense of how good the player was last year, including some of the historical data as well, and where they're going in terms of their ADP. So without further ado, let's get right into the analysis. Now, here's where you can start to think about strategy, because this is something that I kind of got thrown off by when I was doing the D tiers video. There's a lot of defensive depth this year. You can see how far down the really dark green guys go, pretty much all the way down to the 120 range with Chris Letang. So obviously you got Cale Makar at the top here. He's the most complete player and the highest point ceiling guy, and he's going to get you Colorado power play exposure. I don't really have to explain why Makar's this good. But then you got Adam Fox, who is overdrafted in this range. He's an assist-heavy point power play guy, but he's not going to get you shots. He's going to get you blocks, but he's not going to get you hits. So I think in this mid-20s, early 30s range is a little bit too early for Fox. Then you got some other guys here. Rasmus Dahlin had his coming out party last year. He was number 1 or 2 on my completeness rankings last year until basically the last couple weeks of the season. He fell off a little bit there, but he was extremely complete. Hits, blocks, power play, everything. And nothing has changed there. He's continuing his progression. Then you've got Erik Karlsson in this range. If you can get him at 40, that's where you could maybe make that case where, you know, he's got that point ceiling that's pretty much as good or better than Cale Makar. And if you can get him at 40, I kind of like that a little bit better. I wouldn't target him earlier than this, though, because there is injury risk to factor in there, too. Then you've got Roman Josi. He's one of the best defensemen in the league. I consider him in the same tier as Cale Makar. He's going at 45. So between the two of them, obviously you'd like to have Makar. But if you can get Josi in this 45 range, you're getting basically Cale Makar. You're getting the same kind of shot volume, the same power play production, the same goal scoring levels. Those two are the top 3 in goals for the last couple of seasons. And you're getting it much later in the draft. Then as we move down here, Dougie Hamilton, huge shot volume guy, power play, goal production, one of the few guys in the league defensive-wise that could hit 20 goals. So you're getting some unique unicorn type stuff there. But then you've got some of these guys on the other side here, a little bit less favorable. Quinn Hughes, assist heavy, power play heavy. Charlie McAvoy, low point ceiling, but very complete, getting some hits, getting some blocks, not a ton of shots. I think he's under 2 shots per game, and he's not necessarily locked in to run that power play. Could be Hampus Lindholm. So these guys in the lighter green, Fox, Hughes, and McAvoy, I would fade until they're below where they're currently at ADP-wise. But there's no real tiers here. You continue on down. You got Josh Morrissey at 65-70. That's insane value. Josh Morrissey was a really, really good defenseman, top 5, top 10 defenseman in fantasy last year. He's going in this range. That's insane value. Miro Heiskanen's another guy I'd love to have access to. He's currently going at 65-70, which is insane again for him. Evan Bouchard, if I can twist it around here, he's back here. Twist it a little bit more. He's this guy. He doesn't have a lot to work. He doesn't have a lot in his file because of the fact that he wasn't power play 1 quarterback guy until late in the season last year, but now he is, and you're going to want exposure to that Edmonton power play. So if he's going in the 70 range, that's huge value. I would assume he doesn't go. I assume he goes earlier than that. So maybe jump up a little bit to get him because you're getting that Edmonton power play exposure and some shot volume and goal scoring as well. Then you got Victor Hedman, who I've mentioned before is one bad stretch away or one injury away from retaking that power play 1 quarterback spot in Tampa, which is something you would want access to. And he's going in the 65-70 range. A bunch of really good options. Montour, who's starting the season injured, but he was extremely complete last year, really had a coming out party. But you continue on down. Brent Burns, Sergachev, John Carlson in the 90 range. I mean, these are guys I would love to own. And I got Carlson in the 5th round last year, and I thought that was value. So if you can get him this late, that's insane value, especially because he's a power play quarterback. So he's going to be feeding Ovechkin, and Ovechkin's trying to score, as many goals as Wayne Gretzky. So you're going to get power play points from Karlsson. You're going to get hits and blocks. You're going to get everything. And he's going in this deep part of the draft. You go even deeper. You have Chris Letang. Obviously, the power play one is probably going to be run by Karlsson. But again, one injury or one bad stretch away from Chris Letang taking over that power play. And if you can get him at 120, why not take that risk? Aaron Ekblad, Drew Doughty, some lesser guys. I'm not going to go back to Ekblad anymore. I've done it twice, and he's let me down a couple of times. Drew Doughty's still got, I believe, power play one now that Dursey is gone until Brant Clark takes it, but who knows if he's going to actually take it and run with it yet. Seth Jones is going to get you exposure to the Chicago power play, and he's really, really complete in terms of hits and blocks. So he didn't have the points there. He didn't have the offense there last year, but now he's going to have access to Connor Bedard. That could be something you want to look at, especially at 110 in the ADP range. So Shabbat going this low is crazy. Chychrun going this low is crazy. Zach Werenski's a 3-shot per game, 20-goal defenseman going this late is crazy. So strategy-wise, it seems as though there's really excellent defensemen all the way down the ADP range here. So you can find a lot of value deep in the draft, which means you still want to have those two elite power play quarterback defensemen, but you don't have to reach to get them. You don't need Cale Makar. You can get Yossi 2 rounds later. You don't need Adam Fox. You can get Brandon Montour, Josh Morrissey, Miro Heiskanen 2 rounds later. You don't need some of these guys. You can get John Carlson in the 8th or 9th round in a 12-team league. So this is kind of reshaping my defensive strategy because now you can find a lot of these guys further down in the draft, which means you don't have to prioritize them early, which means you should probably factor in other things. Now, what other things should you factor in? We've talked about before positional scarcity, guys on the right wing, goal scorers, shot volume guys, those are more rare than other positions. Even left wingers are more rare than centers, so you want to factor that in. And multi-position players. So we will do this exact same analysis with the multi-position players as it stands right now. And that will be in an upcoming video. So stay tuned for that one. That's going to do it for this one. Remember to like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. This is a shorter form video. I do some longer form stuff. And if you want more granularity when it comes to defense, I already did the defensive tiers video. You can check that out in the 23-24 draft playlist. But that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.